going well, mate?
Yeah, good, Joey. How are you?
Going very well, thanks, mate. Going very well. Looking forward to this game against the Uzbeks because you made it very clear post-game after the Syria one that you're here to top the group. You want to take 3 points, get 9 points in the group stages for the first time ever. Socceroos at the Asian Cup. I guess, how are you going to do that? Are we going to expect to see the same 11 that you deployed against the Syrians, or will you be making a few adjustments for a different challenge that is the Uzbeks?
Yeah, look, I think there'll be a few changes, but I don't think there's much difference in the depth of our squad now. I think that, if you make changes, the team will still be strong and very strong. And as I said, I do expect that, we're going out there to win the game. And obviously Uzbekistan are coming along a lot as a country. They invest a lot of money in football and they're a good side. And but we'll be ready for them on Tuesday.
These changes that you'll be making, are they injury enforced or are they more horses for courses? You want to get certain attributes into your lineup, and I guess if it's the latter, what sort of attributes are you looking to emphasise?
Yeah, look, I can be honest and say Mitchell Duke is out with a hamstring. It'll be one game at a time for him, but we'll see where that lands over the next week. He had a bit of a scan and he's got a small strain, so he'll be out. So again, it'll be an opportunity for me to have a look at other players as well, and against good opposition, be a great test.
Anna, over to you.
Yeah, Arnie, obviously terrible news about Mitch. You mentioned it's one game at a time. Have you already decided who'll start there? Obviously Bruno's been your first go-to sub.
Yeah, no, not at the moment. We had yesterday we had a day off for the first time in 16 days and gave the boys the day to freshen up and clear the brain. And today will be the first training session back, so obviously this afternoon at training will be important to see how the boys are, but not at this moment.
And just to follow on from what Joe had said before, it's obviously a huge opportunity. You can still top the group. Uzbekistan beat you, they can top the group. With Japan suffering a loss, they go likely to the other side of the draw. How big an opportunity is this in terms of, I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but...
No, it's...
right there.
Yeah, but Anna, that was our goals right from the start, was to top the group and obviously, with high expectations, if you don't reach for the stars, well, then you'll never achieve anything in life. And, at the end of the day, you just said Japan got beat. That shows you, how tough this competition is. And Japan losing to Iraq and South Korea drawing yesterday against Jordan shows you, here in the Middle East that those nations are doing well. So it's up to us to get out there and with our mindset and our work rate and our commitment and culture that we've got and do a great job for all of us.
Vince?
Arnie, we've all been smashing you for the attack, mate, and saying
Of course.
There's struggles in terms of breaking down teams that sit in a low block. I'm just wondering what you think of that, or is it a bit like what Aidan just told us, and perhaps it's harder than it might look from the outside to break down teams that play the way you have that they have against us last couple of games?
Yeah, look, Vince, it's I can work on the tactical side of things, but I don't think I have the time to work on the technical side of things of the individual. But as Aidan said, and as I said, Japan with the English Premier League players had trouble breaking down Iraq, and they couldn't do that. So it's, if they set up deep in the block, the pitches are quick here. It's got to be very spot on. But at the end of the day, winning is the most important thing, and obviously we can do better in that department. And we've been working on those type of things for the last 2 weeks of our attacking patterns and our attack. And we'll focus a little bit more on the defensive side of things now.
And just in terms of what you said before about the tournament, and it looks like there's a lot of nations, particularly West Asian nations, that are improving with some of these results in the last week or so. What are you seeing there in terms of what the improvements are and sort of where it's coming from. There's a lot of money being invested in that part of the world, I guess.
Yeah.
By those nations.
Yeah, but look, I think one thing that has surprised me a little bit has been the physical side of a lot of the nations now. They're big boys, and it's one of the first things you got to do is win that physical battle. And the boys are doing exceptionally well at that. We've won the fight the last 2 games, and we will continue to do that. But as I said, it's a great tournament. I'm really excited about it. I'm very proud of the boys' first 2 wins, but it's one game at a time, and making sure that we get this one right.
Marco?
Riley McGree's come on both games, made an impact. Are you sort of building him into this tournament? Is he ready to start in this one, or you sort of like keeping him to start maybe in the round of what's the name, 16?
Yeah, what's its name? Round of 16. Yeah.
I was going to say the knockout stage.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, look, Riley, obviously, he was short of a bit of game time when he come in, but he's had 2 lots of, 35, 40 minutes, and, he's looked very good when he's come on. He's sharp, he's fresh, and, it's probably now time for him to have a start, and he get out there and try and get through 60, 70 minutes, and we build for that round of 16 game.
Is he the player that, which I think I spoke to Aiden sort of just before about the lack of a genuine number 10. Is he the closest that you got to that?
Well, I think, the most important thing is, sometimes the individual quality of them backing themselves, and also, the 1v1 situations and that. But, the most important thing for me is, when you look at a couple of the goals we've scored, is getting players in the box and good numbers in the box to score goals. And I think we've done that quite well, where you look at the 2 goals, one against India and one against Syria. They weren't fantastic goals from Jackson Irvine, but at least we're getting him in the box now and giving us more numbers and more opportunities to score.
Joey, back to you for a question and a follow-up.
Cool. Just flashing back to what Vince was asking about these nations that are rising up, it's also, you look at the current landscape of Asian football, all these improvements are coming where to now it was only a 32-team World Cup, and there was a limited spots for Asian teams to qualify, which the Socceroos and a few others have sort of monopolised. Do you think that now with the carrot of another 4.5 slots at the World Cup, we're going to see an even supercharging of investment, and we're going to see a raising of these standards at an even quicker rate now, because these countries will be able to qualify for a World Cup? Because we saw the football changing impact it had in Australia. Do you think we're going to see that writ large?
Yeah, look, I think again, I don't know if you noticed, but against Syria they had 3 Argentine players, and it's the teams are obviously investing more, and there's more competition. And when I say that, you got World Cup qualifiers, and right across, even the last campaign we had 20 qualifiers, and so the teams are getting more and more competitive games. And I think that, as I said, there's a lot of investment going on in these type of nations, but mate, all I can do is focus on ourselves and make sure that we're getting ourselves ready for those games.
And then just as the follow-up on one of the players that drew a lot of praise when he was on the park, and even when he came off the bench the other night, was Geordie Boss. You've deployed him in the starting lineup on the wing against Syria. Is that the position you see him in this squad, or will he still come into contention at left back?
Yeah, it's a good thing is Joey can play both, and at his club he plays in Westerlo as a left wing back, but he can play in both positions. And I thought Aziz's age, with Aziz's experience behind him to coach him and help him, is always a good mixture and a good blend. And I think that Geordie did exceptionally well, but it's a learning process for him. He's only a kid, he's 20 years of age. And, as I said, even against Syria, I had 5 or 6 players out there with less than 5 or 6 caps. And, with the older players around them, it's important they get that type of experience here in the Middle East, because, the next obviously the World Cup qualifiers coming up. They're much bigger, bigger games in terms of qualifying for the World Cup, and the pressures even more. So it's good that the kids, some are getting this experience now as well. But as I've said before, the most important thing is the older players, and the older players, give them some coaching and leadership on the field.